Hi, everyone. I'm Mitch Jurasich, and welcome to Hooked on the Niners.
Very good. I'm Mark Naismith, and we'll take a look at a statement win in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
And I'm Jerry Walker, and we're going to look ahead to the Detroit Lions and no talk about handshakes.
And we're going to visit with our old pal, Terrell Jones, who stops by to talk about everything in the NFL. This should be pretty interesting. Probably won't be. When we come back, right here on Hooked on the Niners. Just kidding you. Just kidding you. Bay 101 Casino, located at 1801 Bering Drive in San Jose. They can be reached at 408-451-8888 or on the web at bay101.com. Since 1994, Bay 101 Casino.
Badges Cafe. Badges Cafe is located in the heart of Mountain View at 2423 Old Middlefield Way. You can reach Badges Cafe at 650-967-7477 or on the web at www.badges.com. Go Niners! College Plaza Shell. College Plaza Shell, located at 1400 West Hillsdale Boulevard in San Mateo, providing automotive service since 1987. You can reach College Plaza Shell at 650-573-7959. That's 650-573-7959.
Psst. Hey, need some video work done? We can do that. We do all that video stuff. We can even put your video on that internet thingy. At Peninsula TV, we do full-blown in-studio production, talk shows, performances, speeches, anything. Remote multi-camera production, on location, at your event. And for the budget-minded, single camcorder production in high definition. We'll take your video project from first idea to finished product. For more info, contact Peninsula TV.
Yeah, right.
You're on.
Oh, welcome back to Hooked on the Niners as we're talking here. We pounded the Packers. I told you.
You did.
Right?
No, you
Before we
didn't.
go any farther, Jerry wants us to see the hat. See the hat we got here? Isn't that a beauty? That's a construction hat from the site. One of these days
Helmet.
we'll talk about
That's a helmet.
a helmet, a construction helmet.
Yeah.
Hat, helmet, whatever. What do you say, hat or helmet?
It's from groundbreaking.
Hat? That's why you're on this side of the table.
That's right.
All right. I told you they'd pound Green Bay, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
And yes, they did.
Yes,
Yeah.
they did.
It's the best prepared team I've seen the Niners put on a field to play a game in a long, long time. Maybe ever.
Did you guys have trouble keeping track of who was in the game for the Niners?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm sitting there with myself. Who's the wide receiver? Who's the bottom of the screen? Who's the top? I mean, these guys are coming in and out like it's a fire drill.
I think we talked about that last week about the exhibition season kind of being, kind of goofball city and just vanilla city. And they showed nothing, and they were obviously packing up to bring out the big guns, and they did it absolutely that. Totally well prepared. Incredibly balanced victory, too. Special teams coaching, great defense, and really good offense altogether.
Yeah.
Far superior team to the team that's picked to win the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah.
You know, Dom Capers sat there with an upset stomach the whole game. Like, what is this formation?
Right. And who were some of the guys we didn't have? Brandon Jacobs for short yardage.
Right.
James.
LaMichael
James we didn't have. Didn't have Ted Ginn. I mean, so already they had to show some of their depth, and I think this is the deepest team in the league, Terrell.
Well, and it's the first win for the Niners in Lambeau since 1990.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's huge.
Now you cover the NFL, and you were with the Niners for a million years. Isn't that the hardest place to play? I know Kansas City's one of them.
New Orleans might be the hardest, but Green Bay is awfully tough to play.
It is, because when I was with the Niners, we were 0-7 there, counting playoffs games.
Oh, thank God you're not there anymore.
Yeah.
No,
but when I went to Tampa, we won a game there, so I'm 1-7.
I think it's the earliest they played there in many years. That had to help a little bit, but they were ready. They were ready to play.
But it was kind of the good news, bad news. The good news is we're getting into Green Bay in the summertime when it's not 15 degrees below zero.
Right.
But opening day, everyone's up, and this team. You and I were talking about the fact that you're never safe with Aaron Rodgers. That guy is great.
Unbelievable. I mean, 45 TDs and 6 interceptions last year. arguably.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, just terrifying.
45-6. I didn't remember that.
And a quarterback rating, which I can never figure out how they calculate it, but it was 20 points higher than anybody else in the league.
Well, we have about 7 college degrees here,
yeah.
and the quarterback rating, I have no clue.
But this
I
guy's
can tell you, but the show's not long enough.
Okay.
This guy's a very, very dangerous player, and they really controlled him and won the game.
Yeah, I tell you what, the offense, we talked about the formations and all of that stuff. I don't know how you prepare for the Niners. I just really don't. With all the different kinds of packages, at one point they had 2 guards in on the wings. The guy said, I think it was 67 and 68 are reporting as eligible receivers.
Right.
Yeah.
But also, too, I mean, that shows you what he's been thinking about doing during the preseason. He didn't show any of that, and
No.
he totally took them by surprise.
Yep.
So, and plus, look at their defense. They knew that Green Bay was not going to have a running game.
Right.
Yeah.
So they just focused
6
on the
DBs.
Exactly. And what did Benson run for? Like 9 carries for 18 yards?
Right.
Something.
I think their leading rusher was Aaron Rodgers, and he got a lot of that, I think, late in the game when he was being chased
Right.
and had to run out of the pocket. One of the things that absolutely intrigues me is how do you have a guy like Patrick Willis, arguably the best player in the National Football League at any position, but your game plan is to alternate him? How do you do that?
It worked.
Yeah.
I don't know. How do you keep him happy doing that?
Yeah.
You do it by playing as well as the team played and winning the game. But it worked. But how do you even think about that?
I don't know. Or how do you you're the defensive coordinator and you got to go up to Jim Harbaugh and go, I got an idea. and keep your job.
Well, I think it was very not confusing. Well, maybe it was confusing of how they used the personnel. They announced Randy Moss as a starter the week before, and he played kind of sparingly too. But when he played, he was in situations where they could get him open, which he did immediately when he caught the touchdown pass. So this is mix and match city and confusion city for anybody who's lining up against him.
But the question nobody's asking though.
Yeah.
If you're playing Patrick Willis sparingly, is he injured?
Well,
is there something that they're not saying?
Certainly
Don't
never
say
came out.
that.
Yeah.
Come on, we were on a nice high there, and then all of a sudden.
When you talk about confusion, I'm going to skip right over the Patrick's question. When you talk about confusion, they're doing it on special teams and on defense too, not just the offense. Did you notice the one penalty on special teams, the 2 flankers or the guys who get the
2 gunners?
The 2 gunners, not flankers.
Yeah.
They both moved in and false start.
And false start. And there was another new wrinkle that we saw there. Statement of the obvious, I think. Was this the best game that Alex Smith has ever played in a 49er uniform? I mean, from start to finish. Obviously, it'd be tough to beat that New Orleans game with what he did down the stretch, but this was just vintage, I thought.
Yeah, he certainly looked a lot more confident. And I still think they're controlling his activity at the quarterback position. But, he threw a lot of good passes. The one he missed to Crabtree standing in the end of the end zone was a little bit of a heartburn. But he came right back after I, took a big gulp of something and threw because I thought it was going to be David Akers for field goal number 47. But he threw a touchdown pass to Vernon Davis on a real nice play. So played a very good game.
Speaking of David Akers.
Yeah.
One of the greatest sounds I heard all day was doink.
Yeah. Doink. Yeah, absolutely. And there was another doink, too, and that's when Vernon Davis tried to dunk it over the
He got
crowd.
rejected.
I just read the paper today that Joe Staley said that the plane absolutely erupted in laughter when the 49ers were coming home, and he tried to dunk that. To me, it was a game of... There were some visual things there that just really caught my eye by the, who was it? It was on Fox, wasn't it? Yeah, yes. I always forget what station. The first one was Joe Staley's got the big cut across his nose, and he puts the towel up there, and he kind of looks at it and sees the blood and goes, that was a great visual. The other one was David Akers, after he made the field goal, that kind of, I did it.
Like, did that really happen?
But the best one was Coach Harbaugh frothing at the mouth.
Yes, he did.
like almost like a rabid dog. I mean, he was just that upset. Which brings us to the next question: the officials. Now you've got you know folks around the league. When are we getting the real ones back?
Well, they were hoping it was going to be within 3 weeks, but it doesn't look like it now.
Oh, that's not
So-
the answer. You know, you're not giving the answers we want, Terrell. You're bringing up injuries.
I'm giving you the truth.
But it's not what we
you know
want.
What? But if I was Goodell, I'd be on the phone like yesterday at halftime, like, please, what is it going to take?
See
Absolutely.
why he wasn't on the show last year?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Oh, we didn't have a show last year.
Now, you're of the opinion that they weren't, you've kind of said they weren't that bad, they just made really crucial mistakes.
Yes,
Yeah.
I stand by that.
All right, okay.
I think overall they stunk.
Yeah.
But if you look at it from that point of view, they're 4 downs.
Yeah.
You're only supposed to have 4 downs. You're only supposed to have 3 timeouts.
Right.
You know, if a guy gets blocked in the back, you should call it.
Yeah.
You know, a few things like that they stuck out.
But again, the takeaway also is, these guys have refereed games before,
Right.
Yeah,
college
right.
games.
College games.
But you do see, obviously, how hard it is to referee at that level with that speed and that size, how hard it is.
Well, I suppose.
And these guys just missed calls that, I think we could have got a flag out of our back pocket for on a couple of occasions.
Absolutely. But look, try this one on for size. We always talk about how hard it is for a player to adapt to the speed in the game.
Yeah.
Why couldn't it be the same for the referees? I would imagine.
It was.
And I agree with you.
And I think they are adapting.
Yeah.
But it's
Slowly.
it's dramatic. It's a huge difference. Now, what I'm suggesting with my instant replay background
This better be
is
good.
let the replay assistant up in the booth point out. Let him. Right now, any touchdown they review.
Right.
Any turnover, any change of possession they review.
Mm-hmm.
Let him review when television shows a penalty, a block in the back, and say, check this out, and call it then.
Yeah, but that's not part of the replay rules.
No, I'm saying-
Develop it then.
Yeah.
Get that in there.
Substitute officials aren't part of the replay rules either.
Well, the only thing I don't like is
So
when-
there.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Hoisted on my own petard there. I think
There you
It's
go.
a big hoist. The people that say they'll get better as it goes on, my analogy. I'm on the operating table and you've got the scalpel. I don't want you better on your next operation. I want you at your best right now. And that's how I feel.
Well,
I want these guys out of here.
But thank goodness it didn't cost them the game. After that block in the back, when it got him back in the game, I think
Yeah.
we were all just hands over the face. And
Right.
fortunately, it was not the deal killer. So
All right,
onward
okay.
to the Leones.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, that's it for this segment. And I told you guys they'd pound him. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit about what's going on around the league with Terrell and some other stuff too, right here on Hooked on the Niners.
Brought to you in part by Woodmont Real Estate Services, a friend to the community since 1963. Woodmont Real Estate Services is located at 1050 Ralston Avenue in Belmont, California, and can be reached at 650-592-3960 or at www.wres.com. Vivace Ristorante. Vivace Ristorante is located in the heart of Belmont at 1910 Ralston Avenue. They can be reached at 650-637-0611. That's 650-637-0611. Or on the web at www.vivacerestaurant.com. Gando Design. For 25 years, Gando Design is located in Redwood City. Their website is gandodesign.com/specials. Gando Design, a proud sponsor of Hooked on the Niners. Peninsula TV is now live streamed on the internet. Watch us from anywhere you have an internet connection, on cable, on the net, and on that fancy mobile device. Just go to pentv.tv.
All right, welcome back. Let's just finish up the first segment. I wanted to do this, and I completely forgot. Give me your play of the game, of the Green Bay game. What was and it doesn't have to be, just something that you really liked.
What I really liked, and it's not even have to do with the Niners, Randall Cobb.
Oh, really?
I really like that because
he had quite a game.
Right, because he's kind of he's a sleeper right now.
Okay.
And that was his breakout game.
Okay.
So-
This is not Hooked on the Packers.
I know,
Okay,
but-
all
I know
right.
he's going to send us to Randall say, I'm in the agent business.
Yeah, in the agent business. How about you?
It's the play I talked about was, after missing Crabtree in the corner, that he came back and threw a touchdown to Vernon
Yeah.
Davis, and that was a tough play because was instrumental clearly at that point in time.
I'm going with the doink.
The doink?
Yeah, the doink was good.
63-yard doink.
Yeah, I'll just a
What do you
variation
think?
on
And
that.
what do you think, sir?
Well, see, I kind of thought it was the plays that led up to that.
When Clay Matthews was running around Joe Staley?
No. When Kyle Williams had a nice 20-yard punt return, something like that, and then they bring in Kaepernick for the quarterback draw.
I like that.
And then there were two really strange incompletions on the sideline where
Towards
Alex
Crabtree?
towards Crabtree that were just so poorly thrown.
Just a little high.
And then we kick a 63-yard field goal. I mean, that whole series of plays, one right after another, was kind of stood out.
That
Okay.
was- Alex was just setting up the 63-yard line.
But you know what? Nobody's really talking about Bowman.
Oh,
His play,
be my guest.
his play yesterday was phenomenal.
By the way, you're about his size, aren't you? Yeah.
I'm like one of his legs. but now they're talking about he could be one of the best, if not the best, inside linebacker.
Oh, well, absolutely.
league.
There's people that think he's better than Willis, which I think is blasphemous. But okay, that's fine.
When Willis gets healthy.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh man, I'm telling you, no Christmas card. All right, let's go around the league. I know it's only 1 week and no reason to get excited. Who jumped out at you for either a good reason or a bad reason going around the league? Give me somebody.
Of course, RG3.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Exactly. You knew that the Saints were going to have a little bit of problems, but he exploited everything that they did not have yesterday.
Yeah. He was. I tell you what, that guy's the real deal.
And the thing that impressed me most about him is that he had so many opportunities to run, and he did not.
Yeah.
He looked for his wide receivers.
Yeah.
So with my PR background, what also impressed me was post-game when he said Drew Brees told him good luck and he was proud of him. What a classy on both parts.
Yeah, right, exactly.
But what a classy thing for RG3 to bring up.
Right.
Yeah.
You
He said
betcha.
that's his number one thing now.
Yeah.
Drew Brees said that to him.
Yeah.
So.
How about you?
Well, I think if you're the Niners, and we talked about balance of offense and defense and special teams, I think if you're looking in the rearview mirror, if you're the Niners, you got to see the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers because, to me, they're the two teams that look like they've got the best balance of offense and defense right now. Obviously, 1 week into the season, both showed up big time over the weekend, and especially Joe Flacco. He played a very, very good game, and
He did.
he's maturing quite nicely as a quarterback in this league.
And I see there was no atom bomb went off in the New York Jets on their sideline.
Yeah,
I mean, but they were putting Tebow and Sanchez. They were going back and forth quite a bit.
You see, Tebow was on the hands team.
Yeah, right. He was on the hands team. He lined it up. He lined up at wide receiver a couple of times. I think at tight end, and Lord knows what they're going to do there. Anything else catch you? Talk about. We should let people know that Jerry's a Cleveland Browns fan, growing up in Ohio. The Brownies were having their.
Why don't you bring it up after a Browns win? Why would you bring it up after a touchdown with a minute left in the
Hey,
game?
I thought they smacked Philadelphia around pretty good.
They played very well against Philadelphia,
Yeah.
but they got a long way to go. They remind me a little bit of 49ers about 5 or 6 years ago. They got a lot of building to do.
Does the fact that a lot of rookie quarterbacks started, does that do anything to anybody here? What does that tell you? I mean, years ago it used to be you're waiting 5 years carrying the clipboard, and this guy's gonna have to croak before you get in there.
Well, the places they started, they weren't really thrown to the lions, and no pun intended.
Yeah.
Washington's got an improved team.
Right. Yeah.
The Colts are going to be, I think, improved over last year. So who else? Another rookie that started?
Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson did okay.
Ryan Tannehill.
Ryan Tannehill, yeah. And then the guy in Cleveland, Whedon,
But there's a lot of young throwers in this league now.
Right.
I mean, second-year guys, Ponder and Locker, and then the third or fourth-year guys, Stafford, who we'll see next week, and Freeman, and it's really a change. Sam Bradford, a lot of good young quarterbacks in the league, so it's starting to change the guard a little bit.
Might be the first mention of Tannehill on television without mention of his girlfriend.
Who's his girlfriend?
Yeah.
Hard Knocks, man. I guess every time they showed Hard Knocks, every time they showed Tannehill, they show his girlfriend in the stands.
I mean, is she somebody that I would know? Of course, I wouldn't know. I live in a cultural
She'll
vacuum.
probably have her own show now. You know how
she will.
reality TV
really?
is. But
She's a good looker?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay, well, good for him. He's 0-1.
Your friend Tom Brady got his nose mushed around a little bit there.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
He'll be okay.
Well, I mean, I'm a little concerned about them being a Patriots fan. They don't look very good to me. I know they won, but
How can you say that?
Well, did you see the preseason game when Brady was in and he was sacked like 3 or 4 times in their first series? I think they have definite offensive line problems.
But it's preseason.
Okay,
And what did
yeah.
they do yesterday? And now they have an established running game.
preseason or not, you don't want Tom Brady coming off the field and he's got those bits of what's the stuff that's on the fake grass, the churned up shoes, all over the side of his head. That's not good.
Hey, Alex had a tough preseason too.
Exactly. Yeah, he did. I know we touched on it earlier. The referees, we don't know when that's going to get taken care of. What about the Bounty Gate thing? These guys get off the hook.
I think we haven't heard the end of that, and I'm sorry. I think I cut you off.
No.
I just want to point out one thing, Mitch.
Yeah.
They're officials.
Yeah.
There's one referee on each officiating staff.
Right. Here we go.
They're not the referees.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Right. By the way, did you folks see our little helmet here that Jerry is so proud of? No. Go ahead about the officials.
Well, I thought we were going to talk about the Bounty Gate players.
Oh, the Bounty Gate. I'm sorry. See, you got me all confused. Yeah, Bounty Gate. No, Bounty Gate. I mean, it's kind of unusual that a mediator comes in and says to Goodell, "You can't do that."
You know what? And I have to agree with him because I think he overstepped his boundaries. Yeah, I really did. Mm-hmm. And to have those guys reinstated, they deserve to. I mean, because you look at Jonathan Vilma, he gets a whole year off.
Yeah.
So that's like 3 years of your career gone.
Right.
Where Peyton, he gets 1 year. It's only 1 year.
Right. Yeah.
So
yeah. And speaking of Peyton, how about the other Peyton Manning? Were you impressed with him on his debut with Denver? Do we still think he's worth $90 million or $190 million or whatever?
I don't know about that part, but he's still Peyton.
Right.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, he looked almost like a polished Peyton at times.
Right. Absolutely. Well, I mean, as I look around the league, it looks like the quarterback position is strengthening around the league. There was a time there where things just didn't look really good in the quarterbacks around the league because they are the league essentially.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think Chris Collinsworth had the best line last night about Peyton Manning. He said, he may have a little bit off his fastball, but his brain is still there.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
He may be the most intelligent quarterback there is in the league right now.
As you look at when we don't have the 49ers schedule here, but as you think about the 49ers schedule, is there anybody that's coming up that scares you on that schedule?
Yeah, Detroit.
Next week. Okay.
Oh boy.
He's got the Harbaugh stuff, and he's right. Yep. We should do it that way. When we come back, we will talk about Detroit right here on Hooked on the Niners.
Hooked on the Niners is brought to you in part by Old County Custom Framing, located at 1339 Old County Road in Belmont. You can reach Old County Custom Framing at 650-596-2767. That's 650-596-2767. Go Niners! California Catering Company of San Mateo, proudly serving our community at 233 West 20th Avenue in San Mateo. California Catering can be reached at 650-345-4811, extension 1. The San Mateo Credit Union, serving San Mateo County for over 60 years. They can be reached at 650-363-1725. That's 650-363-1725. Or on the web at www.smcu.org. San Mateo Credit Union.
There are a million places you'd never consider texting. So why would you do it while driving? Leave risky driving to the professionals. Stop the texts, and together we can stop the wrecks.
Welcome back to Hooked on the Niners. As I was just looking at my notes here, you brought up an interesting point that we didn't get to in the last segment, Terrell, the new overtime rule, which is the overtime rule from the playoffs last year, right? What did I say?
Why don't you let him bring it up then?
Oh, okay.
That's good. You're good.
Okay.
You're good.
No, now explain it. I set it up.
What's this?
Yeah. See our helmet? Our hat, whatever. So you like that?
I do, because it gives everybody a chance to have the ball. Like yesterday, watching the Vikings scored on a field goal, And now Jacksonville would have scored a touchdown. Game was over.
Game was over.
Yeah. So, and I mean, I really, really like that.
Not the one and done.
And if Jacksonville had scored a field goal to match them, then from that point it's sudden death. Is that right?
Exactly.
And you guys all like that? It's hands in the middle?
Absolutely.
We're all for it? Okay. We have a short segment here because you guys are just long-winded in the other two. Detroit coming up on Sunday. You know, when you looked at this on the schedule, going to be a tough one. I'm not overly concerned, but I guess you guys will get me out on the ledge somehow. But I think we're going to pound them again. I do.
It will be interesting because Detroit had problems with the Rams. And I think that Stafford's going to come in and have something to prove. Now, the guy to me to watch, Titus Young.
Oh, really?
Watch him.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Kind of Wes Welker-ish type guy.
But faster.
Kyle Williams, like our guy.
Yeah, exactly.
And that Calvin Johnson guy is pretty good, too. You know, they're this is a dangerous team. You know, I think the first thing they should do is get Ndamukong Suh pissed off so he can
stomp somebody.
stomp somebody. But, you know, they're going to throw out. Obviously.
Will you volunteer to be the guy to get stomped on?
Obviously, they're going to be under a passing siege by Stafford. I mean, he threw the ball 48 times last week, and he'll throw it. You know, he'll throw it as many times as he needs to with those wide receivers. Obviously, they've lost Javid Best, but Kevin Smith, who was a high draft pick up here, did a pretty good job. So
2 minutes.
Good team they're playing this week.
Maybe 7 defensive backs.
Yep.
You think so?
Possibly.
You think we're going to see this rotating Navarro Bowman, Patrick Willis thing? I'd rotate somebody else. I'd keep Willis in the game, but. You know, those guys know what they're doing. So you're thinking good thoughts for the game on Sunday?
Definitely good thoughts. I think,
To me, what's going to be really interesting now for the rest of the year is every time the 49ers take the field on offense, who's out there. I can't keep track. They run their plays so quickly. They've got so many guys in motion. It's hard. You know, it just used to be, you know, oh, there goes Dwight. You know, there goes Jerry. You know, there goes JT. You know, now it's just... It's in and out all the time, and the headaches for the other team have just got to be insurmountable.
And it's fun.
Yeah.
I mean, that game was fun to watch last week.
Really what they drafted for. I mean, you've got Gore still pounding away. Did a great job.
Yeah.
He did look
very quietly.
Slower, 150.
Yeah.
And then Hunter comes in and played
with 16
quick game.
carries, 121 yards or something like this. Real under the radar. Yeah.
But what about that shot that he took in the end zone and just bounced right back?
Yeah.
Wasn't that helmet to helmet?
That should have been a flag.
Yeah, because those referees just absolutely stink.
But they couldn't find their flag, so that's why they didn't throw it.
Yeah, right. Exactly. All right. Give me a score. By how much?
Who by how much?
The Niners.
The Niners by how much?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns.
Might be closer. 24-21 Niners.
24-21?
Right.
Oh, come on.
Well, let me do another one.
All right.
48-0.
Okay. There you go.
That's what you like. Okay.
How about you?
I was 24-17.
24-17. Okay.
Well, we're all picking the Niners.
Yeah, we're all picking the Niners. I just think it's going to be another one of these things where the Niners are just going to beat them up. 30-10, something like that.
I'll take it.
I just think this team is just on such a roll. They are so deep, and you said it right at the beginning of the program, so prepared.
However,
yes,
I don't mean to be a downer. They can't just. That was one game. That wasn't the whole season. It was one game.
Yeah.
So they just got to be as well prepared this week.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, what does our helmet think? 42-10. No. Anyhow, listen. Hey, always good to see you, Terrell.
Thanks for having
come
me.
back and see us again.
Appreciate it.
It's always good to see you, and it's good to have you on this side, the smart side of the table. Right after this program is over, there's going to be a weightlifting contest this side against that side. I think we're gonna enjoy it. Again, thanks a lot, Mark. Jerry, go.
Hard hat.
Hard hat. Okay.
Hard hat. There you
All
go.
right. We'll see you next week right here on Hooked on the Niners.